you didn't like chase exactly what you're doing now. You were just obedient in what was right in front of you. And often I think in my life, that's how God has revealed whatever the next assignment was. And in fact, you've used the word assignment several times, which I tend to like more than calling right now because I think we misuse calling so much. But how can someone discern, they've got their giftings, they've got what they're good at. Maybe there's something that's before them that could stretch them. How do people actually discern what their calling or what their assignment actually is? And maybe even back up from there and define what you mean by calling to begin with.
Yeah, it's a great question because calling it's this big, huge, vague concept that we've smuggled a lot of different things into it, and we don't all always mean the same thing when we say the same word.
Yeah.
So when I say calling, I actually heard Brad Lomenick, who's an incredible leader. I heard him the other day say, every person has an identity, an assignment, and a calling. Your identity is who you are. Your calling is why you're here, and your assignment is what you're doing right now. And we mix those things up a lot, right? But I think calling is that kind of deeper, it's that deeper reason. It's the thing God put you here for. And that may be expressed through a lot of different assignments season to season. So your calling is not as small as your job. Your calling is not as small as your position right now, or your name on the org chart, or your title, or your income level, or even where you live. Um, your calling is something that is much, much deeper than that. And I would say a couple of things in the spirit of trying to clarify and discern, like, what is my calling? Number one, I would say your calling is always connected to the kingdom. God put us all here to play a part in this beautiful, massive puzzle that he's bringing together of establishing the kingdom in the world. And how crazy is that? God doesn't need us. He doesn't need our help, and yet he wants us to be a part of it. That's so beautiful and so amazing. And so he will draw us into places as we pursue our calling where we are participating in the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that I would suggest is, if you're trying to identify your calling, start by asking the question, where is God moving? Where's God moving right now? People will ask me a lot, when did you feel called to be a pastor? And my response to that question is, I don't know if I ever did feel called to be I am a pastor. I've been one for a while now. I'll probably continue to be one, but there wasn't one moment where God told me to be a pastor. For me, it was growing up a part of this church, where God was moving in such a powerful way, where my life had been changed, where my family's life had been transformed. God was moving, and all I knew is that I wanted to be a part of this. And I wanted to contribute in whatever
Yeah.
way I could, whether that meant cleaning the toilets or being a pastor. And that's what it's shaken out to be. But I would say you will find your calling as you move towards where God is moving. You'll find your
Yeah.
calling as you
That's
move
great.
towards where God is moving.